I'm Father Terrance, and a lot of times we will hear a sermon or from a priest or a deacon or a talk, and we'll walk away from that thinking, wow, what a great homily that was, what a great talk that was. And then the next day we'll be telling our friend, I listened to a great homily yesterday from the sermon, from the priest at Mass. And the friend will say, well, what did he preach about? And well, we don't quite remember exactly what he said. Should we be worried about that? No. I'll often share with people a story that I heard from one of the Desert Fathers, one of the lives of the Desert Fathers, which I'll basically recount it in my own words here. So basically, there is someone who's a zealous person who goes to one of the Desert Fathers in the desert, and he complains, and he tells the father, he says, Father, I have this problem. He says, every time I go to Mass, I listen to what the priest says in his sermon. I can't remember anything he says. I walk out of there. I think that was a great sermon. I can't remember anything he says. Can you help me out? The Desert Father says, I think I can help you out here. He says, okay, what do I do, Father? He says, all right, this is what we'll do. You see that wicker basket over there? So he points to a wicker basket. Thing's muddy. It's all caked in dirt. He says, what I want you to do is I want you to take that wicker basket, pick it up, bring it over to the Nile, fill it up, dip it in the Nile, fill it up with water, then bring the water back to me here. And so the guy says, okay, I'll do it. So he takes the wicker basket, goes over to the water, to the Nile. He puts the basket in the Nile, pulls it up. As he's walking back, all the water just pours out of the basket, right? He gets back to the Desert Father and just says to the Desert Father, says, I'm sorry, it just didn't work out. It can't hold water. It's a wicker basket. It's all the water's gone. And the Desert Father says, all right, I think I know what the problem is. He says, this is what we're going to do. He says, I want you to take that wicker basket, go back to the Nile, fill it with water again, bring the water back to me. And the guy looks at him as if he's a bit crazy, but he says, he's a holy man, maybe something will happen. So the guy takes the wicker basket, goes back to the Nile, fills the basket with water, brings the basket. As he's heading back toward the Desert Father, the water just pours out of the basket. As he's going there, he gets back to the Desert Father, says, happened again, Father. I'm sorry, there's no water here in the basket. And the Desert Father looks again at it and he says, all right, I think I've got the solution here. What I want you to do is I want you to take that wicker basket. I want you to bring it to the Nile. I want you to dip it in the Nile, fill it with water, and then bring it back here to me. And the guy says, okay, one more time. I'll do it one more time. So he takes the basket, goes to the Nile, dips the wicker basket in the Nile. He's figuring, well, this time I'm sure that it's going to be a miracle, right? Pulls the basket out, walks back towards, as he's walking back toward the Desert Father, all the water just pours out of the basket. He gets back to the Desert Father and he says, Father, it doesn't work this way. It's not working out. The Desert Father stops and he says, well, is there anything different about that basket than when you first brought it over? He said, well, the basket's certainly clean by now. All the water, all the caked dirt is gone and it's clean, but there's no water. And the Desert Father says, well, that's how it is with those sermons that you hear. You can't take anything away from you, everything away from you, or sometimes anything away from you, meaning you struggle to remember what's said, but it helps to wash you spiritually when you hear it. It helps to spiritually cleanse you, what you hear in those sermons. So even if we can't remember good homilies or good conferences, just listening to them helps purify our soul, like the water in that dirty wicker basket. And honestly, even in my preaching, I don't worry so much about whether or not people will remember what I said. I think more about how many people are probably sleeping right now as I'm speaking. Well, sometimes that happens as well, which is okay. My main hope is that people will walk away from the sermon being drawn closer to the Lord by what they've heard. Whether they remember the substance or the details or not, it's not for me to worry about. That's for the Lord to worry about. So if you can't remember the things that you hear in the homilies or the sermons or the conferences, remember that example of the wicker basket and the Desert Father. Ave Maria, I'm Father Terrance. Thank you so much for listening. Please keep me in your prayers. I will keep you in mine as well. God bless you.